Hey friends, welcome back to Pages and Grace. My name is Jess. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I want to talk about all the books I have left on my TBR for 2025. Alright, so I have a stack of books to talk about today that are all of the books that I want to get to by the end of this year. Some of the books that are left are on my 25 and 2025 list. I have, I think maybe four, maybe five. I'm in the middle of one of those books left. I think I'm going to finish all of them this year. I think it's going to happen. And then a couple of them are books that are seasonal I want to fit in, and a couple of them are books I'm already in the middle of that I definitely want to get through. All right, so I have a stack of books right here that I just pulled out that are on my radar to hopefully finish by the end of the year. Okay, so I'm going to start with the books that I am already in the middle of. And the first one is Leave Only Footprints by Connor Knighton. This one is My Acadia to Zion Journey Through Every National Park. This one has been so good so far. I am already about 2/3 of the way through this book and am thoroughly enjoying it. All of the different experiences in the parks as he takes a year-long journey to travel to each of the national parks. So the author is a CBS Sunday Morning correspondent, and he sets off to explore America's best idea. He worried the whole thing would end up being his worst idea. So he's kind of coming from a broken engagement, and it sets him on just this year-long adventure, and I am thoroughly enjoying all the different experiences he's had in the national park. It's hard to read because I want to go visit. I want to go travel and see all of these places that he's experiencing. Maybe not in 1 year. That would be a little fast-paced for me, but lots of good stories. I am thoroughly enjoying this read, and this one is actually on my 25 and 2025 list, so this is a priority to make sure I finish by the end of the year. Another book I'm in the middle of and am thoroughly enjoying is Christmas with a Crank by Courtney Walsh. This one, I think I'm about 4 or 5 chapters, and I just started it 2 days ago. I've been reading a little bit at a time. I love a good Christmas rom-com. Courtney Walsh's writing has always been clean. It's been a lot of fun. I don't know enough about this book yet to really give you a recommendation based on it, but I will read you a little bit of the back of the book. It says, a second chance with your first crush doesn't happen often. For Liam Fisher, that first crush was his next door neighbor, Olive Witherby. Childhood was lazy summers, treehouse stargazing, and endless games of hide and seek at Pine Creek, the Christmas tree farm that's been in Liam's family for generations. When Liam's family moves away, he and Olive say goodbye, the only way they know how, with a fumbling first kiss neither of them have ever forgotten. Even though 12-year-olds' promises of keeping in touch feel eternal, time and distance eventually make Olive and Liam practically strangers. 20 years later, Liam's parents announce they're retiring and selling the tree farm. 20 years later, Pine Creek is the last place grown-up Liam wants to be. Inherit this legacy? Not on your life. 20 years later, grown-up Olive is stuck. Her work life is a lot like her love life, floundering. So, this has been super cute so far. I'm enjoying it. I really haven't got into the heart of the story yet, but it's Courtney Walsh and it's Christmas. I'm probably going to enjoy it. The next book on my list that I'm already in the middle of, I am just about halfway through this one, and it is The Story of a Soul by St. Therese of Lisieux. This one I've been listening to with the Catholic Classics podcast. I think it's the 3rd season. This is the book that they chose. It's been good. I really enjoy the book. The commentary on it has been hit or miss some days. I may just keep listening to the audio portion of it and kind of skip through some of the commentary. I don't know, maybe it'll get better. But I'm about halfway through. I'm really enjoying this book. St. Therese had a lot of struggles with fitting in with her peers and just understanding why people didn't care as much about what she did in her younger years. And it's starting to get to the point where she has this amazing epiphany and has a tremendous childlike trust in Jesus. And I'm so excited to get to more of this beloved book and hopefully finish it before the end of the year. The next book is The Church History by Eusebius. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right or not. I have picked this one up a couple times this year. It is very dense, and so I just need to push myself to get through it. I've read a lot of nonfiction this year, and so some of the topics in those nonfiction books are things that I really needed to get to in a timely manner, where this one has kind of been put on the back burner. So this one really needs to become my next nonfiction priority. So this one is on my list. It's 25 and 2025. This is probably going to be the toughest one to get through before the end of the year. Hopefully I can, though. All right, the next 3 books are on my 25 and 2025 list. I have not started any of these books yet, but they are still on my radar. I think I might have an audiobook for at least one of them. So I'm hoping that I can get through these in the next few weeks. I'm filming this on Wednesday, November 19th, so hopefully I can get through these. About 6 weeks left in the year. Okay, this one is a middle grade premeditated Myrtle, a Myrtle Hardcastle mystery. This one I think is going to be super fun to just breeze through. I just need to pick it up. A cozy middle grade mystery read sounds perfect for this colder time of the year. So this one's on my list to pick up. I know I've read this back. Oh yeah, this is gonna be this book is gonna be so fun. I just started reading the synopsis a little bit, and it's gonna be so fun. I know I've read it before on here, but 12-year-old Myrtle Hardcastle has a passion for justice and a highly unconventional obsession with criminal science. Armed with her father's law books and her mom's microscope, Myrtle studies toxicology, keeps abreast of the latest developments in crime scene analysis, and observes her neighbors in the quiet village of Swinburne, England. Yes, I need to pick this one up very soon. I need to get through some of this nonfiction that I'm reading. It is bogging me down, which I enjoy it. It just takes more time, which is a good thing to slow down a little bit with reading. I am in the mood for some cozy reads, and these aren't cozy reads, so I don't know what I'm going to do. The next book is the first book in a fantasy series, and that is Prelude of Fire by Christine E. Schultz. I need to get to this. I have been in such a fantasy drought this year. I don't know. The fantasy that I've picked up has just not felt right. And I'm hoping that in these colder months, I love reading fantasy, but I don't know. Nothing has hit right this year. So I'm going to give this one a chance. We're going to try it, and hopefully it is exactly what I'm looking for. All right. And the last book on my 25 and 2025 list that I need to read still, and I've kind of held out for this one. I think I'm going to like it. And so I'm kind of saving it for something at the very end of the year. And that is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. This cover, I love these sweet covers for these classics. I think I tried to start this one, I don't know, earlier in the year, probably spring. But life has been so crazy this year. Things have changed in my household so much. And we're foster parents, and children haven't changed. So normally I'm saying, oh, things are crazy because, you know, this is happening and changes in the makeup of our home. And that is not even the case. So I don't know. There's been a lot going on. I'm just hoping at the very end of the year, this is going to be kind of my treat. Like I get through these so I can get to this one. So hopefully by the end of the year, this one will be read. If I get to the end of the year and haven't read these, I'm still going to pick this one up. Okay. And if those books weren't enough, I have some kind of like maybes sprinkled in. Well, not necessarily all maybes. The next book is one that was on my September or fallish TBR, and it is Absolutely Not in Love by Jenny Proctor. This is the last book in the Sweater Weather series that I still haven't finished yet. And I've enjoyed all of those stories so far. I just haven't been in the mood for a rom-com. And now I'm like picking up Christmas rom-coms. So hopefully before Thanksgiving, I will give this one a chance. I'm really excited for it. It's just I need to find the time. I need to clear out some of this nonfiction I've been reading. That's really what it is. But I'm excited to get to this one, hopefully before fall is over. And I say I want to clear out the nonfiction as I add more nonfiction to my pile of possibilities to pick up. The next one is Joy to the World by Scott Hahn. This is how Christ's coming changed everything and still does. I've loved everything I've read by Scott Hahn so far, and I think the first book I read by him was this year. And I have read 2 or 3 of his works at this point. This one I saved for around Christmas time, so I'm excited to pick this one up in a couple weeks here. The next one is an Advent devotional. I actually picked it up for, I think, 2 years ago, and I didn't finish it. So it's coming back, and that is Rejoice, Advent Meditations with Mary. This is from Father Mark Tubes and from Ascension. The first time I started this one, I really enjoyed it, but I was in the middle of teaching. And for me, December teaching, I was putting on a Christmas play, and it was a lot of extra time outside of work. Also, my husband was traveling, so I had 3 little kids, getting ready for the Christmas play, everything teachers do for Christmas, and then trying to get through the Advent devotional. I fell behind. This year I don't have those same excuses. So hopefully this year is the year I get through this devotional. The next book is a almost new to me author. I read one book by her last month and really enjoyed it. And this one is The Anti-Mary Exposed. This is by Carrie Gress. Like I said, I really enjoyed, the Marian option from her. This one is Rescuing the Culture from Toxic Femininity. Can't even say the word. Rescuing the Culture from Toxic Femininity. I'm really interested in this topic and I'm excited to pick this one up. It is a very short book, just like her other book. I learned a whole lot from her first book, so I expect the same from this one. I have a couple other on my radar. Will they actually get read? I don't know. They're on the maybe list. One that I found at a thrift store, and it's a Christmas book, so I want to get to it before Christmas, but it is Christmas Bells by Jennifer Chiaverini. I've yet to get through one of her books, so maybe this is the first one I'll pick up. I don't know. And what's it about, Jess? I heard the bells on Christmas Day. Their old familiar carols play, and wild and sweet, the words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to men. In 1860 in Cambridge, Massachusetts, the Henry Wadsworth Longfellow family celebrates Christmas at home. But although Longfellow is surrounded by his beloved wife, Fanny, their 5 adored children, and many dear friends, the country's grave political unrest weighs heavily on his mind. In present-day Boston, Sophia, a dedicated public school teacher, is stunned by somber holiday tidings as her music program is sacrificed to budget cut, her students to the realities of the inner city, and herself to impending unemployment. 2 stories become entwined when inspired to honor a local artist. Sophia chooses a carol set to a poem Longfellow wrote on Christmas Day long ago, a profound affirmation of faith and hope born of the poet's deeply personal grief. Jennifer Chiaverini's resonant heart and heartfelt novel for the season reminds us why we must continue to hear glad tidings even as we are tested by strife. So that one sounds kind of hard-hitting. I don't know if I'm going to be up for that this Christmas, but it is on my pile, so maybe if I get to it. Also, the second book in the Out from Egypt series. This one follows Counted with the Stars. I read it a couple months ago. I loved it. I need to continue with the series. I hope to get to it by the end of the year. If not, it'll be a great book to start January with as well. All right, and the last book on my list is Patty Callahan's Once Upon a Wardrobe. I've heard it has a lot of Narnia vibes. I'm interested to see how it stacks up. So, all right, those are the books that I want to get to by the end of the year. Like I said, the first ones are more of I really want to finish them. Towards the end, it's more of a pile of possibilities. If I get to them, I'm very interested to pick them up, but there's only so much time in a day. So even these last few weeks, I have had major changes in our schedule and what time I have available, and it's just been a lot of shifting and adjusting, and it's all for good reasons. I am so excited for the changes in my family over the next few months. It's going to change my schedule, which means it's going to change my reading routine, which will I get to these books? It'll be okay if I don't. But there are those 5 that I want to get through. The 5 on my 2025 list to finish out the year strong, unlike last year. All right, that's it for all of the books I want to get to by the end of the year. Leave me a comment down below with what books are you trying to get to by the end of the year. Is your list as crazy and long as mine, or do you think realistically what books you're actually going to get through? I don't know. I'm feeling in the mood to dream a little bit about how many books I could actually get through. Very unrealistic. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.